Aloha, everybody. welcome to the Coconut Wireless. I hope you guys can hear me and see me okay. I see we got a couple of people on already. Tyson, of course. What's up, bro? How you guys doing? Susan, great to have you on tonight. Appreciate you guys. Um, we're starting off right off the bat. Sam, can or did someone do a cost analysis? Of more manpower for the fire department. I'm sure there's going to be a after incident report. I haven't heard anything yet, but we'll get into that a little bit. Glenda, hi, how are you? Aloha. Can you guys hear me okay? See me okay? I got a new camera, so, supposed to be more clear. I hope so. A lot of wires now, a lot of stinking wires all over the place. So, anyway, appreciate you guys joining in tonight. Again, this is a Q&A. We're going to get started as we wait for people to come on. So let's. Tyson, what is Tyson saying? The voice sounds well rested. Yeah, I just came back from Texas and Florida, actually. I had a conference in Florida, in Tampa, with our annual conference. And in between the conference, I mean, I did bookends in Texas. So, my daughter and my new grandson is in, not new anymore. My God, he's going to be 1 in September. But yeah, so I stopped over and visited them. Patsy and she stayed when I went to Tampa for about 5 days, and I came back and hung out for about a week. So I just got back on Sunday, and yeah, I am well rested. A lot of catching up to do. I got a lot of comments, guys. Hang on. Very clear. That's good. Nice sound. Awesome. Camera working great. Makes me look much younger. Okay, Tyson, you get the prize. You get the prize. Aloha, Jane from Oahu. Yeah, the village is back. We're trying to rebuild the village. I know I've been kind of sporadic, as you can imagine. I've been really busy. A lot of traveling lately, and although that's no excuse, so I apologize. We're gonna try and get more regular. I'm just once a week. I want to do this Q&A. I think, and we'll talk a little bit about it, but um, I did want to let everybody know that I think I shared with you guys that's been on our loyal villagers. Facebook is slowly taking away our opportunities to do lives until they figure out a way they can make some money. So we are going to be eventually, I'm not sure when, but we're going to be migrating to YouTube. So it'd be a good idea to get over to YouTube right now and find me. It's very simple. Mel Rapozo, not hard to find. Hit that little like button, the subscribe button, and the bell so you get notified every time we go live, so you don't miss a thing. I got, I've been talking to a lot of people about coming on the show. We got Representative Nakamura. Um, yeah, we got a lot of people lined up. So yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned. Aloha, Patty, on YouTube. Awesome, awesome. You get to see me okay on YouTube. Gotta make sure that this stuff is working because it's the most finicky thing when we do live streams, and it's live, so I don't have an opportunity to fix it uh, as if like when we record it and put it up. But so anyway, appreciate you guys and the patience. Um, Folks, this is a Q&A session, so I'm going to take whatever questions you guys have. I just want you guys to make it easy for me because, as you can see, the scrolling of these comments are is very hard to catch up. So if you can put a Q and a colon before the question, and there's a nice little example for those of you, it'll be easier for me to highlight, and I can actually see it a lot better. So just put a Q and a colon, and know what is your favorite colors. Probably not. Mine is blue. Obviously, you can see everything is blue. Um, but yeah, let's see. We got one from Donna right here. Wondering if county or state are looking into bypass from the Hui side of halfway bridge to Koloa in the event of the highway. Let me just say, that's the state highway. And one of the things I hate saying, it's not our function, because the Kamuli Highway obviously is a state highway. I have been, and for those of you that have been following me on the council, I've been a very loud advocate for bypass roads. And if you look at my questionnaire on the civil beat, and we'll talk about getting to know your candidates a little later, but if you look at my survey responses as it relates to traffic, I believe we as a county should be looking at alternate roads for emergency purposes. I mean, there's one thing; it's a convenience issue as well. I mean, to be sitting in traffic every single doggone day, especially on the west side, where it crawls. We as a county, we need to start working with these landowners and asking first, and then telling them that we are going to use those network of old cane haul roads that connected the island for so many decades. And that is something that I'm trying to get our administration to do. The council, we're limited. We're legislative. We're the funders, but we don't have the authority to direct anybody to do anything, and that's a frustration that I have. But yes, not just on the west side, but on the north shore to Lihui. We have the network there. We have the roads that serviced our cane trucks for a long time, and I have met with our state delegation. I've met with our congressional delegation, asking for some help because if a disaster hits, and it's not if, it's when. Um, how are we going to get people to safety? That is always on my mind, and it really is. And I hope we can get some traction going forward. But yeah, I know that's not what you wanted to hear, but the county cannot wait for the state. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. The state has absolutely no plans for West Side traffic. They do have an old plan for the Kapaa side. I think they have 5 options for routes. Of course, it's going to cost a lot of money, but it's going to cost more money if we wait. And if we do get a disaster, God forbid, the cost will be even more. So we got to start talking about it, because realistically, to plan, design, permit, and construct a new highway, Mauka Highway. I mean, with sea level rise and all of that that's happening, um, it's just we have to do it in the future. So we may as well start talking about it now. We got to start talking about it now. Justin Molina, I miss you too, bro. Man, we got to get together, bro. We really got to get together. And of course, my lovely wife Patsy is on. She's making sure I don't say anything wrong. you know, my stuff. I have a little list of things I want to cover tonight, but sometimes I go off script, and she's my uh, what do you say? My coach, Chris Wong. How are you, my friend? How are you? It's so nice to see people on here that I don't get to see all the time. Kimberly in Hillsboro, Oregon. Wow, my son is currently residing in Beaverton. He was in Hillsboro. He just recently moved back to Beaverton. And how's the weather? I love Oregon. I love Oregon, especially Hillsboro. Actually, Hillsboro and Beaverton is kind of our favorite places. Outside of Portland is off. Portland is not the Portland that we used to know. So I hope you guys doing okay. Kim, are you living there now, or are you vacationing, or what are you doing, girl? It's been a while since I've seen you. Beautiful weather, yeah, but that's cool. I was just in Texas. It was gorgeous. It was hot. In the mid to high 90s, and we had this brilliant idea to take the little baby to SeaWorld. I didn't even know they had a SeaWorld in San Antonio, but we went, spent several hours there, and I got to tell you, man, it was brutal. I will never do it again. Although myself and my daughter's boyfriend Jacob went on a couple of roller coasters, which I hadn't been on for so long, and yeah, it was pretty cool. It was fun. I don't think the 10-month-old baby gave two craps about SeaWorld. He was just happy to be in his stroller with the um, canopy on and his sunscreen. So he was cool. All right, here's another one here. Tyson. I always worry when I see Tyson. When county make their plans for street, roads, paving, resurfacing, how do they decide which road gets done or not done? Because in Lawai, basically every single county road has been paved except one street Aka Road make no sense. Sorry, I get my cable right there. Yeah, they come out with a roads list every year, and I can double check on Aka Road. Uh, the mayor in this most recent budget that we just passed, that's the effective um, July 1. The road paving budget was doubled from the year before, so we should see twice as many roads being paved. But I will definitely follow up on Aka Road. Um, yeah, I mean, we get so many calls about roads needing paving. Chris, yeah, I hope to see you here, man. Just let me know when you come. And guys, when I'm looking down, because I'm looking at the comments, I don't have one of those monitors up here where I can, so you think I'm making this stuff up, but no, actually got to look down. So I apologize for that. Um, oh, Glenda, thank you. Yeah, Patsy's a very happy grandmother. I got to tell you, she was an awesome parent. Patsy really, when we had our little kids, I was a cop and I was hardly at home, and she basically raised the kids, taught them everything they know, and it's so amazing to see my daughter, who is like a duplicate copy of Patsy, with our grandson Jahari. It's just amazing, and it makes it very difficult to leave when we got to come back home because Texas is so doggone far away, so doggone far away, so many hours in a little plane. I wish they were closer, but yeah, it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing. And they told me before Jahari was born that a love for a grandchild is different, and it truly is. It truly is, and we are just blessed beyond blessings. Let's see, Tyson. Tyson's gonna. Here we go. Just found it weird. Every other road. I don't know, man. Maybe somebody on Aka Road upset the roads department. I don't know. I will follow up though. I will follow up. I will follow up. So anyway, I did want to cover a couple of things. I cannot. And I don't want to get political, and I don't want to make this a. I'm so irritated with the Trump, the Biden, the Harris, all of that crap. I just so irritated with listening to all of that stuff. But I cannot ignore what happened uh, during that attempted assassination. I, and okay, for the sake of discussion, take Trump's name out of it, okay? Because that name just brings up too many emotional and hostile feelings. So let's just pretend it was anyone else that gets Secret Service protection. Okay, let's just make that real clear. I cannot imagine how that happened. The pukas in the security detail, the perimeter, I mean, I think by now I watched the hearing with the Secret Service director who resigned the next day. Well, number one, she never answered any question, but the the FBI director's hearing, which I believe was this morning or yesterday, he at least he answered some of the questions. But basically, what they have found so far, it's just an inexcusable situation. I just got to say that, and it's I've been thinking about this a lot. While I was in the police department many years ago, I don't know when Al Gore was the vice president, but he came with Tipper, his wife, and they stayed in the North Shore, and I was selected to be part of their vice presidential security detail, and I worked right alongside with the Secret Service, and I saw how they operated. Um, it just baffles me that that was allowed to happen, and some guy was able to climb a roof with a rifle and take a shot at a dignitary. Again, we're not naming names. It could be anybody. It could be a visiting head of state. It could be a former president. It could be a president. It could be anybody. The Secret Service protection is supposed to guarantee these people's safety, and the things that they missed is again inexcusable. And for the life of me, um, I don't know how that happened. And yes, there will be investigations and internal reviews and so forth, but that should have never happened. And as more information comes out, and the fact that this suspect was seen prior, uh, why would they let the dignitary on the stage there's just so many questions. But just basically looking at what we know now, that just should have never happened. And I fear for other dignitaries. I fear for others that are being supposedly protected by the Secret Service. I think I don't know what their budget is. Someone told me 500 million or some odd dollars, but it doesn't matter. There's no excuses. I mean, it's like you got to protect the person, and they never did it. No, the Secret Service director is not employed. Tyson. She resigned the very next day because it was both sides of the aisle that was calling for her resignation or termination. So she really did have no choice. I'm gonna get back to Donna's question. I thought there was a tax implemented. Yes, there is. There is. Well, the county funds road repairs, but we also get the GET money, the general excise tax money that is specific to the roads, and that's how we were able to double the road paving budget because of the increase in the GAT revenues. Um, yeah, Tyson, exactly, man. I don't care if you love, hate, or are indifferent to any single individual. No one deserves to be assassinated or attempted to be assassinated. I mean, that's kind of um, that's just that's why we have a secret service. And again, working with them alongside them with President Gore, Vice President Gore. I mean, I remember when Tipper wanted to go shopping. You cannot just go shopping. The advance team has to go out and they got to secure everything out. It's just incredible. Of course, this was a long time ago, but you would think that with the technologies today and the increase in manpower and I mean, this guy was flying a drone in the area. Lord have mercy. Uh, just baffles the crap out of me. That should have never happened. And again, I really don't care who the protected person was. I don't care. It does not matter. When we have the capability of protecting these people, and we just failed miserably. And I'm just dying to find out, or I want to see the report that the FBI does and that the Secret Service does, and they also have a third party investigative agency doing an internal review. So yeah, so she resigned, and rightfully so. I know a lot of people wanted her. I don't really care if she was fired or she resigned. It doesn't matter. She just needed to go, and not only her. Yeah, she's gonna take the big fall because she's the director. But as you all know, in organizations, the director, and then there's others that allowed it to happen as well, and they all need to go, in my opinion. In my opinion, and it's not a Democrat or Republican thing. It is just you didn't do your job. Somebody got killed. Two people got seriously injured, and a dignitary, whatever you want to call them, was injured. So inexcusable, um, and some really heads should roll, and we're just gonna have to wait and see. Gonna have to wait and see. The other thing I want to talk about is these fires, man. On Kauai, it was bizarre. I was in Texas, or maybe in Tampa, and I got the call from our managing director, advising me of what was going on here. And then there was another one, and then there was another one, and today we find out that some doodle heads are setting these fires. At least one of them, and they believe it's all related. Come on, people, what the hell are you guys thinking? Uh, you know, I always wanted to be a fireman, but to be honest, I didn't score high enough on the test, and that's why I became a cop. But I think of those people that got to go out there and risk their lives, and it's just I don't know what these people are thinking. I don't know what these arsonists are thinking. Um, it's it's just plain stupid. And what joy does someone have? Maybe to get excited when they see a fire. Um, I don't know. Angela, the road design I said I did share it with the roads division. They are excited. They are actually looking into it. I actually personally shared it with the mayor in one of our discussions. And what Angela is talking about is these roundabouts that are made out of plastic that are can be installed very quickly. And it's not intended for main thoroughfares, but for subdivisions with the intersections that where Angela lives is a massive problem with speeding and people that just don't want to stop at stop signs, and it's causing a safety hazard. And Angela has been a very strong advocate for safety in her area, and so yes, Angela, they are looking into it. And thanks for the spices, by the way. I do have it. I did not make my barbecue yet, unfortunately, because I've been traveling, but I will, and I'll definitely let you know. It looks good though. Mm, I opened it up and took a sniff, and it's delicious. So yeah, I'll definitely let you know when I try it out. And I coming back from Texas, we had so many barbecues, ribs and brisket, and wow. Now I know why my daughter don't like come home. Um, okay, Tyson, isn't the U.S. hosting some big foreign leader? Yeah, not Netanyahu is here, and in fact had their conference or whatever they had today, address Congress. So yeah, he's here. And can you imagine if a world leader from another country came to the United States and got shot? Lordy, lordy, lordy. I mean, so I'm sure they got triple protection for Netanyahu. I hope people who may know information come forward. Yeah, you're right, Tyson. I mean, that's what it boils down to. We in today's world, Kawhi, you want to call this a coconut wireless because I like that term. And growing up here, we all understood what the coconut wireless was. It was better than the newspapers or the radios or TV. I mean, just people here share, and you cannot tell me that no one else knows. They do, and you're right, Tyson. I think it's our duty, it's our responsibility to to speak up when you have information on these things. It's not squealing. I mean, well, it is, but it's the right thing to do because we got our first responders out there. We got the police, the firemen, and and I know we always talk about police and fire, but we also have a bunch of civilians, private citizens that are out there helping our fire department as well, uh, making fire breaks and then also you got the people that I got to tell you, man, it just warms my heart. I'm in Tampa. I think I was in Tampa, and I started reading the Facebook posts about individual community members saying, "Hey, we're at the harbor. If you guys need food, you need water, you need beverages, come down and come help yourself." That does not happen anywhere else, for brush fire. And when I see that, it honestly just makes me really appreciate living here and erases my temporary dream of moving to Texas or moving to the mainland to be closer to my kids. Because I don't think it happens too many places, and we are just blessed to be able to live in that. When I saw the comments and the prayers going out for our first responders, and yes, it was great to see, and Kauai strong is really what it is. The village. Sorry, looking at my Kumu Troy, Patsy. You gotta explain yourself, man. Kumu Troy. Is Kumu Troy on? Is that what you're trying to say? By the way, Patsy is not here with me in the room. She's in the living room. Um, did you return home with a killer brisket recipe? Of course, man. Yeah, but the secret is a Traeger grill. You gotta get a Traeger grill, the wood pellet grill. Um, okay, what? Oh, okay. Okay. Now I think Lazaro. I think you guys are recognizing people in the community that stepped up. Thank you guys for doing that. Thank you for doing that. Okay, Patsy is saying now, Kumu Troy opened up his place for shelter. Okay, thank you, Patsy. Thank you. You gotta understand, I'm Portuguese, guys, so sometimes there's a delay. There's a delay. You gotta kind of explain. Person mentally insecure, so not getting caught boosts his ego. Yeah, there's so many reasons why people start fires, and that is definitely one of them, Sam. And I just, you want to go burn a fire, go down do a bonfire someplace and clean up your mess when you're done. But don't go set brush on fire because that Hanapepe fire, I tell you, I was concerned. In fact, when the mayor called me, he called me while I was in Tampa, and I asked him how bad is it, and he said it's bad. And I could sense in his voice. I asked him, "Do you want me to fly home?" Because there were there were several of us up there, and if we needed to release funds, we need to call a special council meeting. And he said, "No, Mel, we're okay. but and I'll just keep you posted. And they did, and yeah, so yeah, it was scary, and it's very bad. It's uncomfortable. It's scary when you're so far away, and something like that happens, because the coconut wireless is not instantaneous, right? And it went so between the updates, your head just starts to spin, right? And figuring out, is everybody okay? Please, I continue to pray. Please do not allow anyone to get hurt. Please protect our people. Priority number one, and then protect the structures, because it's just so unnecessary. And then these guys that are doing that, man, that's just horrible. Yeah, and then Tyson, not to mention all the inconveniences. Um, yeah, so all of the people that went out there, cops, firemen, that's their job, right? They get paid to do it. Um, but the civilians, they don't, So for them to step up and do what they do, every time, every time, every disaster, every crisis, it's the people of this island that steps up. And you know if I'm a Hanapepe resident, and I know that these fires are encroaching, but I'm safe and I know I'm out of danger, like I was in Tampa. I knew that I was safe. I knew our house in Wilo House Loss was safe. But when you see those comments coming in and the offers for help and assistance, and I know, I mean, I tell you right now, I think our emergency response, and I've said this numerous times, is really, we've had so much practice on Kauai that I'd never have a doubt that we can take care of the issues that come up. But when we see the community step up, again, man, it just makes you proud to be from here. It just makes you proud to be from here. So, anyway, Larry, what's up, Larry? There are two potholes on Aka, High Lima intersection. Someone must have complained because the two potholes were filled yesterday. Probably your son, Tyson, because he was just talking about it a little while ago. Avoiding the potholes puts you into oncoming traffic, but to get to that intersection, you have to pass a myriad of potholes. And why are some roads that are repaved over? Yeah, Tyson just asked that question. I'm gonna follow up, Larry. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure. I think I don't know how some computer program, some AI probably that puts this list out, and the council does get a copy of it. So it's important that you let us know if your road is in the west side gets forgotten, Kekaha, Waimea. Lot of roads to be done, and I will say our roads guys uh, do the best they can with what they got, and um, so. But yeah, I will follow up. Guys, my email is so simple. It's melrapozo@gmail.com, and you can email me at any time, or you can go to our county website, kauai.gov, and find the council tab, and you can email any one of the council members right from the website. So we really appreciate. I know we do get a lot of inquiries and complaints, and honestly, we do welcome that, because we don't know what we don't know. I keep telling people we don't know what we don't know, and I know a lot of times the people expect us to know as council members, but we just don't. And yeah, so let us know if you got any issues. Let us know if we got any issues. I will be doing a round of community visits in October. I know it's a little late, but we did want to wait till after the primary election, and then right before the general, get out in the communities and let everybody know that I'm running. You guys all know that the election is coming up very shortly. I'll put up some dates here. July 29th is voted. You guys, many of you should have already gotten your ballots in the mail. I got mine when I got back from the mainland. It was waiting for me, so I voted and I turned it in the very next day. Um, but from July 29th, the voter service center will be open, and July 31st is the last day you can vote for the primary election. So, and then of course August 10th is the primary. So, yeah, we'll be trying to make our rounds right after the primary. But one of the things on my list here is running a campaign to get reelected is what we do. But we also, and I tell politicians all the time. I tell our candidates, that's either incumbents or running, you got to run two campaigns because we have a very low voter turnout statewide. Kauai does pretty well, but not good enough. When you get less than half of the registered voters turning out to vote, you're not getting a true representation of the people of your county. So I'm begging everyone, whether you vote for me or not. Of course, I want you to vote for me, but if whether you vote for me or not, you got to vote. You got to vote, and it's not just for the council race. You got the prosecutor has no opponent, so she's automatically in. But you got House races. You got the Senate. I mean, the president's race, all coming up in the general. We got to get people to vote. And I don't know. Maybe we got to pay people. I don't know. Vaughn, hello, welcome back. Oh, Bucky's is my new favorite store. Bucky's. That. Thank you for the referral, bro. I gotta tell you, man, that was phenomenal. I don't know if any of you are familiar with Bucky's, but it's the largest gas station I think on the planet, and there's many of them, I guess, all over the place. But and then there's like a little Walmart in there, like a huge store that sells clothes and hats and boots and shoes and food and coffee and snacks and brisket and ribs. It's crazy, man. It's like so. I'm in Texas, and Vaughn is telling me that I gotta go to this place, Bucky's. So I tell my daughter, "You guys ever heard of Bucky's?" Oh yeah, man, they're all over the place, Dad. So on the way back from SeaWorld, we stopped, and holy moly, amazing Bucky's. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you, Tyson. Again, can't complain um, if you don't vote. So a lot of people complain, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And I don't know how many people actually know this, but when you're a candidate for office after the election, we are allowed to go into the election office and take a look at the poll books. We get to go in and actually look at the poll books. Yes, we cannot see who you voted for, but we can see who voted and who didn't. And I got to tell you, it is shocking to see friends and family that told you that they voted for you and they didn't even vote. And that's why when you look at the turnout again, 48% or whatever it was, I can't remember, but it's less than 50% for Kauai. The minority of people are determining the leaders of Kauai, and to me that really needs to change. And I don't know how to do it. I don't. I trust me. I do my best. I am out there telling everybody you got to vote. When we do our coffee hours, um, we have voter registrations, and we have them fill out the voter registration, and I personally deliver it to the elections office. But registering is one thing. You gotta show up. You gotta turn out. And now with the mail out ballots, you can do it at home and you can put it in the mailbox. Um, golly, oh man, yeah, Mr. Woodward or Miss Woodward, not sure which one it is, but yeah, Uncle Charlie helping that lady, carrying that lady. That's Uncle Charlie, though. The guy's a heart of gold, and he's playing music tonight at Troy's. He told us on our last show that he went back to play music on Wednesday nights. So, um, yeah, Wednesday was the only night I could do it this week. So, like I said, it's difficult for me to with during COVID when we had the show, I wasn't on the council, so I was I had pretty much free time, so I could, we could, well, of course, back then we did it every night, so it didn't matter. But yeah, we'll try to get more regulars, more for you folks, so you guys can tune in. But getting back to the election and this current election coming up, I think it's important that people know the candidates, and I'm not just talking about the council candidates, but all candidates. And the Civil Beat does an awesome job with a questionnaire every year. And if you go to their website, civilbeat.org, I think it is, just Google it. Yeah, every single candidate running for office has an opportunity to submit a survey and or a questionnaire, and then they print all the results. And you go learn about your candidates, and on that on their page has a contact information, whether it's email or phone number on all the candidates. I encourage you to call them or email them, ask them the questions, because I think name recognition is a lot. A lot of that goes on here in the local politics. But I mean, if I'm voting, I'm only going to vote for people that I want to see speak for me. So obviously, for me in the state races, whether it's the legislature, or governor, or Congress, yeah, I make it a point to make sure that the person that I put that block next to, and honestly, I'll be honest with you guys, and I think most of you that know me know this. I don't care if you're a D or an R, or an I, or green, whatever. I am voting for the person, not the party. I'm voting for the person that I believe has my best interests at heart. That's how I vote. And I was thinking about this today because I was watching the news tonight, and they were talking Congress, right? Congress is, they never agree, right? If it's a Democratic measure, the Republicans will say no. If it's a Republican measure, the Democrats will say no. Imagine if we had a nonpartisan Congress. Can you imagine the accomplishments that we would have if we had a nonpartisan Congress? If we had a nonpartisan state house and state senate? So for me, it doesn't matter. I don't care what your affiliation is, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure I'm voting for someone that going to do what's best for myself and my family and my friends here on Kauai. And it's just getting people out to vote is so important. You know that if we raised our voters voter turnout to, let's say, 70% or 80%, don't you think that the outcomes of some elections would be different? It definitely would. So never underestimate the power of voting. We just need to get it done. So Civil Beat, guys, go check it out. And Kauai Chamber of Commerce did one as well. I went to their website today. I didn't see it. I'm not sure if they put it on the website or if they're going to put it. Maybe it's only for their members. I'm not sure. But for those of you on Kauai, Kapa Business Association is doing a candidate meet and greet on August 1st from 6 to 8 at the Collab Cafe. You know where that is? I didn't know, but it is right next to the old Foodland in Waipoli. So if you guys are in the area, stop by August 1st, 6 to 8 at the Collab Cafe. I'll be there. Patsy will be there. And make sure you come up and say hello. Vaughn, can we talk about growing homeless issue? I'm noticing almost on a weekly basis a new face cruising around Lihue Town. Is the county noticing the increase and talking about solutions? Yeah, we're talking a lot about solutions. We rely on counts that are inaccurate. They do a point in time count. So everybody thinks we're doing so well statewide because, Kauai has, well, I don't know what the last one was, 400 or 300. I mean, we know that's not accurate. The council is constantly working with the administration to figure out how we can take care of our homeless population and houseless population. And in fact, right now, as we speak, in fact, Friday, DLNR, the board is contemplating giving us some more land. They have the Kealaula project in Lihue that houses the homeless people. I think, Vaughn, I think you're very familiar with that. There's an adjacent parcel of an acre that we are trying to get from the state to build another Kealaula so we can accommodate more homeless. But it's a tough issue. And, I personally believe in safe zones. I think that we got to really start looking at areas where we can put up structures that keep our homeless houseless communities dry, clean, safe, and that always has its own challenges. But yes, Vaughn, we are. It's just a constant issue, and it always comes down to resources. And I wish the state would do more. We're very limited, the county, and so is the state to some extent. But I think we got to really. It's not going to get better. I guess that's what I'm saying. And with the cost of living rising, with just the conditions here, that number will grow. And then you get the new people coming in. There's no way that we can stop them. I know everybody says, how come you guys let these guys in? Well, we still live in America, and trust me, man. If I'll be honest with you, I'll tell you guys a story. And this is what we did. Back in the old days, we had Mid Pacific Airlines. We had these. They used to sell coupon booklets for $25 a coupon, and you could go anywhere. It's like a bus pass. And several of our us cops, when we came across a knucklehead that was just here to cause problems, we take them right to the airport and gave them the ticket, watch them get on a plane, and adios. Go back to where you came from because we don't need that here. And I don't think that, some people say that that's so cruel. No, it's not cruel because when you come here and you absorb our resources from our local families and our local population, yeah, you're not helping us. So I think people gave them a ticket to come here. So we're just giving them a ticket to go back. And I think we need to do more of those, more of that. But yeah, Vaughn, I mean, we can get together too, man, and discuss, put our heads together because it's right. You got to provide shelter. We don't have a homeless shelter here. We have KEO, they have an emergency shelter, but we don't have like an IHS that Oahu has. We don't have that, and we need to get that. And that's just something that I just like beating my head against the wall, though. Miss Brune, I'm voting for a person that I met. Sorry, this thing is blocking the comment. Face to face, and they aloha me and does their best to be pono and kind to their fellow human beings. Yeah, isn't that all you want? Listen, guys, we're not always going to agree on every single thing, and that's fine. That's why this process that we have, the democratic process, is so good because we have the ability to disagree with respect, and because understand, right? We represent everyone in the island. I love our system here in Kauai where there's no districts. I know some people say, yeah, we should have districts. We should have districts. Well, listen, guys, I'll tell you, we're the only county in the state that we don't have districts. Every council member runs at large. In other words, all of our council members are elected by all of the people on the island. I think the reason why we get along so much better than some of the other counties, in the other counties, there is a definite division, just like Congress. You have a majority and you have a minority. Well, over here, we cannot do that because we all represent all of the people. So maybe on the larger counties or cities, you need districts just because of the size. But for our island here, there is no bickering about the project that my one of my colleague council members wants to do in a district somewhere else because it's all of our districts. So we support each other because we all represent the same people. And that is when people ask me, why don't we go to district? Well, that's why. Because once you district and you have a council member that's in the Lihui district and he's fighting for that $1.5 million for a project that is in Lihui, and then you get the West Side council member who's fighting for that same $1.5 million for a project in Waimea, you end up with conflict. So the system that we have works for us. I don't care what anybody says, and I hear it a lot. I get emails about it all the time. Blah, where I came from, we have, well, yeah, everybody has districts. Very few people have at-large council members. But do we want to be like that? Do we want to be in an environment where the council members are fighting with each other because I want your money and your project's no good because mine's better? No, we can all make it work. So my personal opinion, again, that's just, sorry, I'm looking at my comments, guys. Sup, Napa? Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. All right. What did you learn at the most recent national county meetings you folks just attended? When we go to our county meetings, I think the connection with our federal people, the agencies, housing and urban development. I found out that there's programs right now that are available for communities under 10,000 people or 10,000 households that are eligible for grants and low interest loans for sewer conversions. So it's things like that. There's just a lot of opportunities to connect with our federal agency partners that know exactly what they can do to help us. So I went to visit a waste to energy plant in Tampa, myself, Bernard, and Kipo Kaiwen. And what I found out was that the waste to energy plant that they have, the technology that they have, is very, very, very expensive. That, in fact, too expensive for us on Kauai. But what I did learn was there are 3 other companies, and I have all the information that we have already reached out, that offer a similar but different technology that is scalable down to smaller plants that can handle our waste. And I did want to talk about our landfill. I'll get to that in a little bit. So yeah, it's just a whole bunch of things, and our technique is really we all belong to different committees within the National Association. So Kipukai again, he does all the housing stuff. I was a panelist on a Department of Defense panel talking about federal funds available to neighborhoods that are adjacent to military bases, and we have a personal relationship with them now. It's a REPI program, uh, and we are actually actively engaged in getting assistance from them so they can help us with some of our infrastructure needs out there on the west side. So yeah, I am not ashamed to say that yes, those conferences aren't cheap, but the benefit that we get back from them definitely is worth the price. So, and again, I am not ashamed to say that. There's a lot of work when we go up there, and networking as well. And when you talk to, we have a very close relationship with New Mexico. We have the same problems as New Mexico: water, waste, tourism, over tourism, cultural practices. It's like I mean, we could swap places. Me and a council member from New Mexico could swap places, and I wouldn't have to be briefed because we have the same problem, same problems. I hope that answers your question. There are many senior citizens out there that need senior housing. Again, that's another demographic that we need to really address. All of the senior housing projects, the county senior housing projects, have waiting lists, and yeah. Corrine, I'm assuming you're talking about waste to energy. I agree. You know, again, if you look at my civil beat questionnaire, where they ask you what is the largest problem for your county. I think everyone else said housing. I think one person said cost of living, but my response was the solid waste issue because our landfill is going to be filled up before we can have an alternative. We are heading for trouble. And again, for those of you that have followed me, I've been screaming about this for probably 15 years now, and the can no longer be kicked down the road because that landfill is going to be at capacity, and we are going to be screwed. So in fact, I have it the next week's not next week, but the next council meeting after. I believe it's in 2 weeks. I have solid waste coming up to the council meeting, and it's not going to be pleasant. I'll just tell you right now, because my patience has run out. I've been here a year and a half. When I came back on the council, that was my priority, and I wanted some outcomes, I wanted some plans, I wanted some action. We haven't gotten it. So, you want to watch a good council meeting? Watch that one. And I don't mean to be a dickhead, but I am. We cannot put this off already. We are already behind the eight ball. I don't know what the solution will be when that fills up. I don't. Um, and I am truly concerned, and that's why I put that as my the biggest concern because the consequence to us as taxpayers is going to be significant. When dealing with EPA fines, Department of Health fines, you get all these environmental fines that we will give. We cannot dispose of our trash. We ain't shipping it to Honolulu. I am working with the city and county of Honolulu, their council chair Tommy Waters, to figure out if there's a way we can. They want us to pay to take our trash, and I told Tommy, we ain't paying you. You need the trash because their H power plant, they put in a new burner. They don't have enough trash. So they're paying the contractor, they're paying the operator a lot of money because they're not producing the trash that they agreed to produce or provide. So they are looking for trash. So I said, Tommy, you guys want our trash then you guys pay for the trash. We're not paying you for the trash. So again, that one I tell you probably aside from other what I of all the council issues that we deal with, that one gives me the most sleepless nights. I'll be honest with you because the consequence is not going to be. It's going to be tough, and the next mayor is going to have some stress. And same with our wastewater system, right? I mean, you guys all know that in 2050, if you have a cesspool by 2050, you got to convert um, to sewer. I mean, to septic. And I don't know where you live. If you guys live in Koloa Poipu area, the cost for septic because of the ground, the blue rock, it's a lot of money. I've heard upwards of 75 grand, 80 grand. Here we're about 28 grand, 30 grand in Whale House lots. But what's going to happen in 2050? I met with Representative Nakamura yesterday morning about this and trying to get the state to, number one, you're not going to be able to enforce that, and there's no way 22,000 cesspools on the island is going to convert to septic. There's just a ton of people that can't afford it, including myself. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but we need to build sewer plants. That's what we need to do. We need to start looking at putting wastewater systems in areas that can take the sewage and get the people off of cesspools and septic. I don't see why, and I told this to Nakamura. You can make me convert my cesspool to a septic, and then a county will come along 5, 10 years later and say, okay, now you got to go pay money to hook up to the sewer. That's not right. So we need to forget about that 2050 deadline for septics, and let's focus our energies and our resources on sewerizing the entire county. That's the solution, not septics. It's a band-aid. We have to start looking at providing wastewater treatment plants, regional plants that can accept the sewage from our people. That is those are the things that we have to do. We cannot tell people you got to go put a septic and then come back and say, "Oh, sorry, I know we got your septic, but now you got to come on a sewer." No, that's crazy. It's just crazy. Um, so true, Megan. Don't forget the beach areas, all the burials. I mean, that's where can you go on this in this state that the coastal properties do not have EV. You just there. That's where they're at. So again, another big thing, and we had I had a constituent out on the North Shore sent me some photos of a property that was right on the beach, and that requires a special management area permit. And and the way the law is set up, that if your renovations to the property value is less than 50% of the value of your house, you don't need a permit. You don't need an SMA permit. Well, this people completely redid the house, built a new house without any SMA permit. So the constituent sent me the pictures, sent me the tax map key. I sent it to planning, and planning's been very responsive. Kaina Hall, our planning director, they went out, sent the inspectors, cited them, cease and desist, and they're now subject to $10,000 a day fines. So we all got to be vigilant. We all, if you know of these properties that are doing this, if you know of these properties that are doing construction on our coastal lands, you just got to email me. Just let me know. Give me a call, and I will definitely follow up. And our planning department, that's the second one in the last 3 months that they went after and cited and fined. And the best part is these guys now got to go through the process of getting an SMA permit, which will not allow them to build on the beach. They're going to have to follow the setback rules. So, but again, we don't know what we don't know. So while people continue to criticize the council, you guys are letting these people do all of that. Well, if I don't know it's happening, how can I help? So, just shoot me the email. I can promise you, there, it brings me joy when I see a copy of the notice of violation and the fine. I really, it might be morbid, but I do, because when people take advantage of us, when people are taking advantage of us because they think we're stupid, it brings me joy when I get to see the violation. I know that's horrible. Um, Tyson, good question. I have an attorney reviewing that right now. The law says 2050 is when you got to convert your cesspool to septic, and 2050 is down the road. But right now, if I want to build another bedroom, I wanted to put my podcasting studio in a backyard, small little, small one. But I want a bathroom out there so I can hang out, be my man cave. It's very small. And I gotta put septic to do that. But the law says I can have my cesspool until 2050. So we're looking at that right now, Tyson, because I think it's crazy. Yeah, I live in a Wilo house lots, honey, and there's a pump station right down the road. I mean, not that I am saying we should be the first to hook up to the sewer, but that pump station has been around for a long time, and we have not connected the house lots to the pump station, which makes no sense. And now they're telling me I gotta go put a septic. Well, I'm not putting a septic because I know that at some point, I don't know if I'll even be around in 2050, but whoever, my kids or whatever, gonna have to come back and pay for the sewer. Uh, Yes, I just had a good discussion with Mr. Nakasone, and yeah, he's doing good work. By the way, he's doing good work. He also provided me with some TMKs that are currently being investigated right now. So yeah, thanks, Megan. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else we got here? Of course, housing. Um, we this year, we raised the taxes, real property tax on hotel and resorts and the TVRs, and we got a lot of pushback from the TVR community. We got a lot of pushback from realtors, and the bottom line is this: we are not, or we should not be a Disneyland for the rich and the famous. That's just so. Hotel and resorts, they were a little upset because they didn't see it coming. But I did the breakdown with the cost. It comes out to a $2 a night extra. They got to charge them to make up for the difference in the the real property tax increases. But what that did was that generated $9 million for us that will be used specifically to purchase land for the middle class, because there is absolutely nothing out there for the working class, the cops, the nurses, the school teachers, and so forth. So that did pass, and we're going to generate some revenues. And again, that is where the administration now, our housing agency, needs to go out. And I have already spoken to private landowners who are willing to work with the county to give us nice parcels of flat land near infrastructure that we can work with a developer to build up these middle class homes for our local families, so that you won't have to be in my situation where you got to fly to Texas to go see your kids. It's ridiculous. Um, yeah, Sharon, this is one of the. I just had a complaint. I mean, we get this so often that we pass the laws that we can have ADUs now. You can build units on your property. Uh, Everybody jumping for joy, but then the reality set in, right? You go build an ADU, you got to put a septic, and again, you're at the $40,000, crazy. It's a good law that's not being used because of the cost. So again, that's why I'm trying to work with Representative Nakamura to figure out a solution of how we can make this work. If your cesspool is functional and you're not in the environmentally vulnerable area, which means you're on the coast or you're near a stream, then you should be able to use that cesspool as long as the capacity can handle the additional toilet or sink, whatever you're putting in. I think let's just be practical. Let's be practical. Hold on here. I'm sorry, guys. I know I wanted to only stay on an hour, but I do want to catch your questions. Um, Governor Raposo, you only 31 right now. In 2050, I'll make you 57. September 5th is my birthday, folks. I'll make the big 60. 60 years old on September 5th, which is a great segue because on September 5th, I'm having a fundraiser at the convention hall. Um, that's a plug. That is a plug. It's my show, so I can. Um, and it's gonna be it's $20. You get a nice Hawaiian food meal, some entertainment, a couple hours, talk story. Um, and yeah, let me know if you guys interested. My website is let me find my website button here. Here we go, right here. Yeah, there it is. Melforcouncil.org. You can do a lot of things here. You can sign up to be a volunteer, and you can just click here to sign up. You can contribute. We take all and appreciate those of you. I'm not going to single you out, but those of you that have submitted or have contributed, thank you so much, folks. We appreciate that. And really, the reason we raise money is to get the message out. Yeah, it costs money now to advertise, and we really want to continue, or I want to continue to serve this island. Cindy, thank you, my former colleague, investigator extraordinaire. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate. Um, yeah, so go check out my website, folks. It's again melforcouncil.org, and you can and if you go to the bottom, you can look at the voter information is there. Where is it? There, all the dates that you need. There's some of my endorsements that I have received. Our events are in here, so all of our coffee hours are in here. I'm going to be putting in the fundraiser, um, and of course, if you just want to shoot me a note or contact, just send it in, and I promise to respond to you guys. I think the engagement from the community is what makes this work. Oh, the Woodward ninth. The ninth is our anniversary. Me and Patsy will be married for 35 years on September 9th. That is interesting. That's a long time. But she is the rock. She's the backbone of this family, and she has allowed me to do this thing for a long time. This I'm currently serving my 16th year, my sixth year as a chair, and I love this place. I do, and I enjoy what I do, and we are in difficult times, no doubt about it. We are in difficult times. Any closing compelling words of advice from Kamalani? I like these names that Anyway, all I can say is, listen, folks, we live in the best place on earth, and regardless of how rough things can get, I think again I go back to the community's support of our people out on the west side suffering from fires. I mean, I think that's just when you see those things, it make you realize we're in a good place. But I'm not gonna lie, we got some serious issues on this island, as many places have. But ours is, because we're such a small place, because we have limited resources, it's not as easy. But I think number one, choose your leaders wisely. Get involved in government. I think get engaged with your representatives and your council members, your mayor, your senators, because that's our job, right? Our job is to speak for you. But again, I go back to and I probably said it 5 or 6 times. We don't know what we don't know, and we rely on you folks to let us know what's going on, because we don't we don't know it all. Oh, Megan says, what I like about you is you say it like it is. Yeah, I don't give a frick. And it's not that I'm arrogant. I know a lot of people think that, but it's like this, guys. I have a short period of time on this earth to make a difference. And we don't have time to mess around. We gotta get things done. When we look at the solid waste issue, we should have done that a long time ago. When we look at wastewater, we should have done that a long time ago. When we looked at housing, a very smart housing expert told me many years ago, when you focus on the housing crisis when there is no housing crisis. In other words, when there is no crisis, when there is no shortage of inventory, when prices are down, that is when you work on getting your affordable housing units up. Uh, Again, it's a long road. It's been a long road, and I've learned so much from so many people. But it's how do you get the administration, whether it's the county administration or the state administration, to move. And we try to put out a good case, and we try to provide the funding. But at the end of the day, that's kind of where it lies, right? The administration is where the trigger gets pulled. So we are at a point now where we don't have many choices. We don't. And when it comes to the landfill, wastewater, I mean, it's we just don't. And housing, we're trying our best, but it's we're just trying to keep afloat. And we have the problem is growing quicker than we can fix it. So we just gotta. It's gonna take, the old cliche, it takes a village. And I know this, we have kind of coined the term the village. We are all the villagers, but we gotta say what we mean and mean what we say. And it does take a village, and this village will get nowhere if we cannot come together and work as a unit. I wish I could talk to every single congressperson and so you guys act like children. If you guys could get in a room and forget about your party affiliations and just focus on the doggone issues that are facing Americans today, we would get a lot more done. But this whole game that they play is ridiculous. Is ridiculous. And that, yes, while they're very far away geographically, but the trickle or ripple effect impacts each and every single one of us. Every day they delay on passing a money bill, or passing regulation, and the ridiculous regulation that sometimes they pass because it seems good or it sounds good, is great for their political resume, without realizing what is a practical or the impractical impacts it will have on the rural communities like Kauai. and the Big Island. And Honolulu is big city. That's like LA, San Francisco. That's new. That's They're different, but we are different. Kauai is different, and I think that's why I think it's important. That's why I decided to run again. Was That's the mindset we all got to have, and it's the seven of us on the council uh, cannot do it alone. We It takes the village, and we are the village. Um, mean what you say what you mean, and don't be mean about it. Absolutely, absolutely. Remember when the both sides, like I'm not gonna mention names, but when both sides came out and says after the assassination attempt, we gotta talk about unity, and that lasted for maybe 20 minutes on both sides. After within 20 minutes, they were back peeing on each other, and that's childish when they have such a large, huge job to do. So, any other questions? Any other questions? Any other questions? Oh, here's one. Here's I looking at. Sorry, catching up. Thanks for sharing that. I'm trying to renovate my mom's house, and pulling permit for a new roof triggered the septic. Yeah. Now, answer me this question, Deborah. What the hell does a roof have to do with your cesspool? What the heck? My podcasting studio back there, maybe 10 by 12. I don't even need a building permit for that. But the moment I bring electricity and the moment I bring a little bathroom in there, I gotta put on septic. I'm nobody gonna be living in there. It's like it's a shed with my podcasting equipment. That is so. I actually have a personal friend of mine who's an attorney on Oahu looking at possibly suing the state for making us put a well, it's not the county, it's the Department of Health. It's the state Department of Health that got to sign off on a permit before the county will give you that permit. So that's where the problem is. It's not with the county. It's a state. So the state got to come out and say, okay, you can put a roof. Yeah, you got to do a septic. Yeah, that like makes no sense. In fact, Deborah, you might be the one that we may have to use to be the name on the lawsuit because I'm not impacted because I'm not. I cannot do it. So yeah, maybe he wants to do a class action lawsuit because there's a lot of people that are impacted by that ridiculous Department of Health requirement. It is ridiculous, and yeah, I will follow up on that. I'm glad you brought that up, Deborah. If you can maybe shoot me the permit application number or whatever, I wanna. I don't get you in trouble, and then I'm even gonna know. But like that is a prime example of a stupid policy. Stupid, stupid policy. And so, yeah, we'll talk about that. Any other questions before we sign off? I am like 10 minutes beyond the time. I know you guys got a lot of things to do, and I just wanted to get back on here. We'll do these Q&As often, and I do want to remind you guys that get to know your candidates, folks. And I am going to ask for your support because I think I can do a good job. And yeah, I enjoy all of you guys. Love you guys, man. It's fun to represent you guys. It's I think it's important, and yeah, I want to continue. So, any other questions before we sign off? They're probably thinking you're going to catch and drain it if you, yeah, you know. That's I will find out the answer to that question though because I think that absolutely makes no sense whatsoever. So, okay, folks, we are going to sign off until next week. You guys all take care. God bless. We love you guys. And again, melrapozo@gmail.com is my email. Melforcouncil.org. Go check it out tonight. Let me know what you think. All right, guys. Take care. God bless. Sleep well tonight. And see you guys later.